There's a metaphysical aspect to the knowledge of self, which is why I focus so much on, at least from my perspective, bringing to light, bringing to the surface, the need for understanding the depths of who and what we are. There's this intelligence that we are all pulling from. Each species has its own intelligence. Through that intelligence, you grow together. In separating yourself from that intelligence, you die together. And in that death process, there's potential to be controlled. There's potential to make a profit off of that through the slave labor of the individuals who do not know who they are. There's an intensity that goes into adding to that human intelligence that we all pull from, that we're an expression of. That intensity is dictated by the actions, the experiences of your ancestors. The side effects to the depth of that relationship that you have to that intelligence adds to your experience. So you gain something as you put something in, as an individual and as a people. People who have been at this, doing this for a long time, have something more. There's something different there. There's a rhythm that we have. There's a flavor that we have. There's a taste that we have. There's a sense that we have. You can hear better. You can see better. You're more protected. You're more resilient. People who are new to the game do not have those capabilities. In fact, they have a difficult time even understanding that there is a human intelligence. And when you have a difficulty with that, you start to see yourself as separate from that intelligence, separate from the rest of the people who are connected to that intelligence. And you, in a sense, cut the cord. You cut yourself off. And when you cut yourself off, you have to focus on your survival. That's all you have. You focus on your survival and you focus on the illusions that are within the limitations of this realm that houses, not completely, but at least for this experience, that intelligence, that human intelligence. The people in power are aware of this. They are aware of the importance of knowing who and what you are, connecting to that intelligence, amplifying that intelligence. As long as you are dumbed down, the velocity of that expansion of intelligence will only go so far, allowing those in power to remain in power. If you want to call it a proof of this, some people are aware that if you think of something, if you feel something, if you discover something, you don't have to put it on a video, in a song, in a book to put it out there in the minds of the rest of the world. It's already there. It just has to be done. If it's done, then it already exists in the non-physical. And it's not like you invented that thing, that thought. You're pulling from it. That pulling from that intelligence activates it. It's like plucking a string on a guitar. You might have plucked that string, but the guitar was already there, the music was already there, the tone was already there. But it won't make that music until you pluck that string. What people get lost in intentionally for control is thinking that they are the inventors of the guitar, the makers of the music, and the individual who made that song, that chord. There's no connection to all of this already being here. A mirror of this is the history. These individuals claiming to be the leaders of humanity, discovering the universe, this false heliocentric universe. This is why the universe has to be completely flipped upside down and reversed and taught to you as something else. Because if you were to know and be connected to who and what you are, everything will change. This is how you make artificial gods. Knowing that there's an intelligence that you are connected to, an expression of, taps you into that organic, that natural, for lack of a better word, spiritual energy, the original energy. So if another person creates an entire universe for you to believe yourself in many senses, that makes them God. flipping your universe upside down and selling it back to you as a physical, dead experience. Those planets are dead. According to them, they are gas giants, empty of life, empty of meaning, empty of connection. They're just there. Same goes for the sun and the moon and everything else a part of this natural experience. It becomes secondary instead of a part of you. So by you buying into that false universe, you're selling yourself out of the original universe, the connectivity of that universe. So instead of selling your soul to the devil, the lightweight version of that is to sell your soul to a demigod, an individual who has created an entire universe for you to enslave yourself within. You're trapped here. You're on this supposed blue dot floating in a vacuum of nothingness, kept alive by a ball of burning fire with no purpose, with no intent, with no knowledge of self. And what knowledge that you do have, what purpose that you do have, is channeled into the experience that these fake demigods have generated for you. And they only become real by your attention, your focus, your belief. Just as when you tap into something on your own, naturally, it already activates in the collective of humanity. It already becomes that. You played that music. Other people can hear it through their spiritual ears. They can see it through their third eye. This is why they treat you a different way, whether it's for the better or for the worse. So as a people, these individuals have seen it. This is why we are attacked. This is why the color grid was placed upon us to control our movement, our evolution, our real evolution. This is why they told you you come from monkeys, because that belief generates a dead end, a dead beginning and a dead end, emptiness, hopelessness. When you as an individual tap into this relationship, when you are aware of this, doing something without somebody needing to see it, to hear it, because it's just done. When you do that, you create a relationship with yourself, with this reality. That is the highest of the high relationship that you could have, because that is the wholehearted, genuine connection to that which is beyond this place, beyond your idea of yourself. So why a specific group of people is attacked so much is because that group of people is the most influential in the collective music. They have the most rhythm. They have the most influence. They have the highest vibration to push things into a place that is beneficial to that higher connection. So they must be attacked. They must be stopped. Their relationship with themselves and beyond that, with each other, must be destroyed. They must be separated, put into boxes, and dumped into an artificial universe from every angle. Do not raise your kids in a healthy manner. Do not educate yourself in a healthy manner. Do not investigate your history in a healthy manner. This is why they give you a whole month. You don't need to look into history. We give you your history. We gave you a whole month. What else do you need? You don't need to know anything more than we tell you. Why? We provide you your food, your water, your resources, your education, your future. So we also provide you with your past, or what you need to know with your past. And if you do anything other than repeat what we tell you to repeat, then you will be seen as an outcast. You will be a threat. You'll be censored. Why? Because the rest of the world has already bought in to this artificial collective intelligence. And you're, in many ways, literally on a different world. You're on a different plane of existence. They can't see you. They can't hear you. In fact, your very presence makes them uneasy, disappoints them. You're an expression of their universe imploding just by being who and what you are. So if you activate yourself beyond that, you're not only a threat, but you're an active enemy to their existence. That threat moves into contact. This is why they are contacting you by censoring you, by removing your history, by poisoning you. We've been fighting this artificial universe since it started, while other demographics of people have been adding to that artificial universe. They need it because of their recessiveness. They need to close those gaps, and they close those gaps with trickery, with illusions, with death and destruction, all-out war. And to maintain that vibration, that focus, they make you look at what they want you to look at. This is what the mainstream media is. This is what politics is. This is what this Western capitalism mentality is. And when you bring that up, in order to maintain, in order to keep you in that sphere, that illusion, anything that you bring up, it automatically has to be deflected on back onto you. You bring up capitalism, how it's used as a weapon. They hit you with, oh, what are you, a socialist? Because they are they're incapable of even entertaining the idea of another universe existing. So deflection is the only way to maintain the infrastructure of their false universe, to attack you. You bring up questions, they bring up attacks. We talk about the origination of racism. They make the discussion about whether or not they are racist, how their groups of people understand racism. They're uninterested in how you are actually experiencing this world. They're only interested in understanding how this world interacts with itself and you being a part of that. Proof of this narcissism in this discussion is the fact that they are saying, they're defining what racism is without referencing the main characters who are subjected to that experience and selling it to the world on the biggest stage there is, on the internet, in the movies, with your biggest podcasters, saying this is how it is, this is how this discussion should be understood, and nothing else matters. In fact, it's laughable. And this is why individuals like Joe Rogan, celebrities, athletes, all these people who get paid millions of dollars, this is why it's so important to hold them accountable. Because they are influencing thought. They are influencing the lack of thought. They are influencing your investment into the artificial world, that artificial reality that maintains their creature comforts and everything else that's involved in that celebrityism. Politics is included in all of this. Everything is included in all of this. Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, all of these angles that we are involved in an everyday reality, all of them are influenced and manipulated to affect you as an individual and as a collective of people in a way that maintains that artificial world at the expense of the original connection.